Chocolate factory.
Yeah.
Tell me the history and story behind the chocolate factory.
Okay, there's no chocolate in it.
It's a true story. There's no
True
chocolate.
story.
There's no
Everyone
chocolate
asks
in
us,
there.
is there chocolate in chocolate factory?
No chocolate.
But you taste chocolate when you drink it, though, don't you?
The big thing, I guess the reason that we came up with that name is in McLaren Vale, unlike the Barossa Valley or Langhorne Creek, we were always taught that the McLaren Vale produces the middle palate of Australian Shiraz. It's long, soft milk chocolate tannins. Whereas with the Barossa Valley, the Langhorne Creek, they tend to be more dark chocolate tannins. So when you eat those chocolates, you can feel those textures. So it's not really a flavor sensation. That chocolate character that you get in some of the wines is actually the oak influence on the grape variety. So when you put toasted oak with Shiraz, one of the flavor precepts is actually a bit of chocolate.
It's grit, right? But
Yeah, this is my mind storm. There you go. It's all about Shiraz.
Everyone wants the-
that
everyone
was amazing. That was,
Golf
that
clap.
was-
Everyone golf clap.
everyone wants the. Everyone says, "Oh, you can't get the romance out of a screw cap." So we decided
Nothing like putting a bottle
we'd go
between
with
your legs.
performance instead.
Right.
To us, the McLaren Vale is that middle palate, generous, fruit-driven, milk chocolate, textured.
Excellent. Now, come on.
Yeah.
The chocolate's been sitting
So
there.
again, what are we having with this?
What-
Everyone
yeah.
goes, we're actually having chocolate fondue. I thought, what the hell? Let's go for it. Everyone wants to have, and there's, again, people think that you have to have dessert wines with dessert. You don't have to. Have a red wine with dessert. Give it a shot. People say that chocolate goes with red wine. I personally don't think it is a match, but let's give it a shot and try it.
Hannah?
Ladies first.
All right, I'm going to go blackberry because I think that's. Oh, we've taken away the heat and it's re-solidified.
There you go.
That's no good.
They can't see that.
There you are.
I'm going to go raspberry.
The one thing you'll notice with our Shiraz is we pick it a little bit earlier on in the ripening period where we have higher acids, so it's quite punchy, crisp, and fresh. Like when you eat fresh fruit, at the back of your palate, when you drink the wine, you get that real puckery, sort of lovely character to it. It's that cleanliness that I love about it. I don't want a big, lush, lacquerol, mouth-coating style of wine. I want one that's a little bit more generous in fruit, and then has a lovely finish that's clean.
Anna?
Yep.
Chocolate, wine?
It works for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. But look, like I said
That's
earlier,
all right.
I'm really not that. Oh, watch out! We've got the
Me-ma,
flames. We've got the flames coming in
me-ma.
to reheat our very awesome fondue set.
All right, fondue it.
Excellent. So, going back to the 4 different varieties, no, the same variety, but from 4 different blocks, let's say.
Yep.
Who else does that?
Oh, there's
Lots
many
of-
producers that
They
would
do?
actually have multiple sources.
Maybe very famous?
Yeah, Darrenberg will do it.
Yeah.
We're aware of. Fox Creek will have multiple suppliers. Penny's Hill, Mr. Riggs. Most of us, there's a few. Australia's not a place when I got here most of us wineries made wine, growers grew grapes. It wasn't the stoic sort of European standard of estate grown, estate bottled. It's moved to that over the last 15, 20, 30 years. But to me, it's there are many multi-generational growers that we deal with, that we have dealt with, and we always will deal with them because they've got
They're brilliant.
great dirt and they know what they're doing. And
Yep.
the tricks of the trade to work with Mother Nature to produce the quality of fruit we want is that little tweak, that twist that we use within our brand.
So, the punters can win a bottle of the chocolate
They can.
factory. They've got 50 seconds. Get your comments in there. To Jerry, can you put a comment in for me?
Questions, comments?
I really like. I must say, I really like it, and going with chocolate as well. I didn't think chocolate and wine actually mixed. I thought it was a bit of a myth or just a way of people selling their chocolate in McLaren Vale. More so than it actually went well with.
Yep.
But I must say, the fruit and chocolate and wine was
It's a nice way to finish off.
I mean, I always talk about our chocolate factory as a Black Forest cake.
Yep.
It's
Yeah.
it's your cherries, it's your creamy palate,
Gotcha.
and it's your mocha. So what better thing to put with Black Forest cake than a little bit more chocolate and a little bit more berries?
Yeah, a bit more berries.
Yep.
synonymous with McLaren Vale is the Shiraz varietal.
Yeah.
Without a doubt, every single wine producer or every single label in McLaren Vale has a Shiraz.
Yeah.
We're pretty much world renowned for that. But the biggest problem is, and where we've found, and you understand with the with the reserve as well, you need a little bit of a point of difference.
I'm going to stop you right there.
Yeah. Okay.
What is the Sabella point of difference for Shiraz? Beside the reserve, because I know the reserve with the oak in the bottle and things like that is.
So Shiraz.
What's Sabella's Shiraz? What differs Sabella's Shiraz to any other McLaren Vale?
Similar to how you put it with the cab, you automatically think cab is going to be very, very heavy with tannins and stuff like that. So a lot of people associate Shiraz being very, very heavy, a lot of oak, very, very powerful. So as a point of difference, you need to either focus on one, or you need to focus on none, or you need to have something else for someone else to focus on.
So you've either got to be at the extreme of, say, a Bollyduca that's blow your head off with any wine they've got whatsoever, that's red.
Yeah.
Or,
and they've done that very, very well.
Or I'm going to actually throw out someone like a Fillion, who's new, Rob.
Rob Mack, yes.
Who's new and was a young winemaker of the year.
Young gun.
Yeah, lighter varieties and lighter styles, which ticks my boat. So where does Sabella fit?
So in regards to making the wine, any fool can make wine.
Someone actually told me that it's harder to bake a decent cake than it is to make Shiraz.
Right. Yeah, because really, any fool can make wine. It's just the amount of passion that you put in it during the winemaking process and the aging process that distinguishes the differences between myself and, let's just say, a 100,000 case winery that will make wine for the masses, like baking a cake to a recipe.
Yep.
So as a result of what we do, I let the grapes and I let the wine tell me which way it's heading.
Okay.
Let's not forget, you need good grapes to make good wine.
Oh, I had a feeling you were going to bring that up, Joe. Being a maestro of the vineyard, I knew that was going to come up.
That's where the wine starts, from the vineyard.
From the vineyard?
Yeah.
No, it's not just the grape, is it? It's everything else that goes into the vineyard to make the fruit special.
That's right. Makes my job a hell of a lot easier if the fruit is good to start off with.
Yeah.
So
what about actually Dad giving you the fruit rather than selling it?
Oh, well, that's another bonus as well. With the amount of acreage and vineyards that we own, we do still sell a lot of fruit, and 60% of the fruit that we grow is sold. But again, having the luxury of being able to pick the best parcels of fruit and pick the eyes out of the vineyards is something that we pride ourselves on, and it all goes into our label. So that there makes it worthwhile.
Has to make it almost remarkable, because other people we've had on the show that purchase your fruit just was singing your. I had to stop them. They were singing your praises that much. The boys from Fox Creek, let's say. Ben Tanzer, I thought he wanted to have your babies.
Nah, Ben's a good boy.
He's good. And Steve.
Soap's good fun.
And they're making some amazing.
They are. In 1999, when we released our first label, Dad was already a grape grower for 27 years. So it was always a dream of Dad's to have his own label, to make his own wine and do all of that, as well as having his own cellar door. And bottom line is, it all comes down to reflecting hard work and showing other people through a bottle of wine the history and the story and the journey that he has.
Because there's just so much more in a bottle than wine, isn't there?
Exactly.
That's right.
Yeah. And that's what I love about doing this show. Like, obviously, I wrote the script for myself, free wine, free food, but it's about telling the story of you guys, about how much effort actually goes into what is in that bottle.
There's a lot of romance associated with the wine industry and wine and vineyards and all that kind of stuff, but behind the scenes, it's a lot of hard work.
Oh, a lot more than I ever imagined.
It's very enjoyable.
Yeah,
it's very enjoyable.
This
it's very
part of it is.
Yeah, well, that's exactly right.
Well, let's talk about the wine.
Right.
So I've had a good sniff while you've been talking.
Okay.
And totally different bouquet, as your dad would say, to the
cab.
Sab.
Right.
I'm struggling to picture it.
All right.
I'm thinking more fruit.
More fruit?
Oh, I've stuck in a sip too.
No, that's okay. That's okay. More fruit is good. More fruit is good.
More fruit.
The biggest problem is when a lot of people make wine is everything else overpowers the fruit. When basically you need a balance
on the
between.
nose.
Yeah.
All I'm getting is fruit.
Okay, good.
And obviously that's a novice.
Yeah.
So
No. That's
I'm going to skip
a novice
you,
at all.
the winemaker, and go straight to Dad. What are you smelling?
Very important to me that when you drink this wine,
Yeah.
you want to go back again and drink some more.
Of course.
Yes,
He
that
might
is-
as well have been for marketing.
It's nice.
Oh, it is nice, isn't
Yeah.
it? Very soft, very fruity, and a really different mouthfeel than the Cab Sav.
Yep.
And then a late taste of tannin on the palate.
Right. Soft.
Soft, but lingering.
Yeah,
More,
that's good.
Even more. I
That's
would
good. I'm
say.
glad you said that. That's good that it just didn't finish very quickly.
Obviously, it's young and it probably doesn't need to be decanted, but would it hurt?
No, it wouldn't hurt at all. I mean, and look, we've just cracked that now, so it's been in the glass for about 3 minutes. So decanting the wine, there's always bonuses with it, and you know, so you can't go wrong with doing that.
Tell us from the winemaker's perspective. Let it breathe.
Yes,
Always.
let it breathe.
And that's good for the brewers.
Yes.
Because we say have a couple of beers first.
Yeah,
Maybe
okay.
have a couple of Goodison's Christmas.
Right.
ales,
Yes.
Why not?
Christmas stouts.
Yeah. Jeff and Mary down the road. That's good. Yeah.
Throw
Why
that
not?
out, on Sand Road.
We don't have a problem. I mean, well, we don't have a problem with marketing and promoting and helping anyone.
But that's the
in
McLaren Vale way, though, isn't it?
Anyone in McLaren Vale.
It's not.
Because bottom line is, whatever helps us and whatever helps other people, all comes round
And helps each other.
and helps each other.
Yeah.
That's
And
exactly
it's a
right.
great attitude, isn't it?
And see, bottom line is, and in a roundabout kind of way, my father actually bought and developed this place because he saw it as an opportunity to add something else to McLaren Vale.
So food pairing.
Right, food pairing, okay.
I've been hanging out for.
Right, we're gonna pair this Shiraz with a couple of pasta dishes.
A couple.
Well,
now you're talking.
Two different pastas.
And these are available from the cellar.
Correct. Right. So we have a resident chef on board.
So what have we got on this one?
We got a classic puttanesca here,
Puttanesca.
yeah, which is anchovies based and olives in an Italian red sauce.
So tell me a little bit about yourself.
I'm from Italy.
From Italy?
I'm from Italy. I came nearly 10 years ago,
Okay.
and I'm a chef at Sabella Celador here.
Yeah. And previous, where?
Previous, worked in Cibo,
Worked. Where?
at Cibo
Okay.
Espresso.
Okay.
Used to make pasta dishes there.
Okay. So now you've stepped it up and you're in the main street of McLaren Vale
Yeah.
with one of the most well-known Italian brands in McLaren Vale.
Yeah.
No pressure, but
Yeah.
no pressure whatsoever. All right. So a perfect pairing with the Shiraz.
Yeah.
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 All right. Well, a little bit of Parmesan and chili to be added, do you think?
Yes.
Okay. Just a touch. Perfect. This looks very authentic. Very authentic Italian.
It's a classic from
It's a classic, isn't it?
Nonna's cuisine.
Yeah. Bit of chili?
What about some chili?
Yeah, just a touch.
That's
maybe.
my favorite.
Is your favourite?
Oh, chili, yeah.
That's it.
Can put a bit more Matteo. I love
No,
it.
yeah,
I
don't
know
worry.
you love it.
It's triple up on mix.
It's,
That's it.
I don't have that stuff. No.
it's
a little
good.
bit unique. Yeah.
It's good for the mustache. That's
Is it? Right, is that where I'm going wrong? Is that where I'm going wrong? And obviously the perfect pairing with any Shiraz is pasta.
pasta.
Yeah.
They work well.
Yeah.
The other,
You talk way.
Yeah, by all means.
Wow, that pasta Superb.
Yeah, no,
Thank you.
it is good.
Yeah.
It is good.
Yeah, it is great. And I don't know whether it was the pasta, it just made the mouthfeel of the wine a lot oilier.
So in the puttanesca, anchovies, olives, capers,
Saltiness.
tomato. Right,
Yeah.
correct.
So it's just pretty much having a meal like not all cooked.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and that's what we wanted to do. Basically, share and reflect exactly how it is when you visit our house or my father's home and have just a spontaneous meal with them.
Spontaneous 5-course meal
Yeah,
that comes
right.
out.
Yeah, exactly right. So, and that's what it all comes down to, because for us, it doesn't have to be fancy, it doesn't have to be difficult, it doesn't have to be complicated, as long as it tastes good and it.
Good pasta with great wine.
That's right.
You just can't go wrong, can you?
That's right.
And people can just get that experience at the cellar door.
Yeah, so the days that we're open and the times that we're open. So Friday from 5 until 10. Come in after work, have a glass of wine, stay and have a bite to eat. We're on the main street, situated just opposite Ellis Park, 133 Main Street. So yeah,
Up the top?
up the top, yeah,
up
towards the
top of Main
north.
Street?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
Pretty much straight across from the bank and food.
Yeah, so well,
Coles, whatever
the
it
Field
is.
Street, Main
Coles Butchers.
Street, Aldersea Street, intersection corner.
Yeah, a little sneak through.
That's correct.
That's right.
Yeah,
A little
yeah,
sneak through.
yeah,
Any local will know what I'm talking
That's
about.
it. Yes, that's right.
Yeah, I just think you've got this little knack, as with the amazing fruit and the great winemaking skills, to make it really easy to drink.
We haven't been one to ever conform with the norm.
People would be silly if they didn't come here, have a chat to Joe, grab a table, bring the family.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to bring the Italians, aren't I? Angie's family. I'm going
You
to have to.
The hospitality and stuff that we just comes naturally to us at our own homes.
Yeah.
It's all about us basically showing,
And you brought your sister in.
Yeah, that's right,
Just,
yeah.
just for that, step it up a little bit.
step it up a bit. We'll
Yeah.
professionalise it a little
Yeah.
bit by just bringing her in. Yeah.
And
Polish us up a
and
bit.
the young fella whipping up some copies.
That's right, yes. Yeah. We've got everyone happening behind the scenes, so it's good.
So what happens to my glass?
I don't know, mate. You're getting into it.
I wasn't into glasses, I think.
Yeah.
You're enjoying that a little bit too. There you go.
I need something to wash the pasta down. eh?
Good boy. Good.
So I've got to say
Yes.
to both of you, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Our absolute pleasure, mate.
And
Thank
you've
you.
outdone yourselves. It's been like, it's like pretty much what I used to experience coming to your house. But great food, great wine, amazing vineyard, which makes all the difference. And I love that fact of it as well. So we've got to let people know, in the main street of McLaren Vale,
Yep.
come down,
Yep.
ring up first.
Yeah, by all means, please book.
Get on the dog and bone and
Yep.
give you a call.
Yep.
Book in, bring the family.
Yes.
Yep, friends. COVID's almost over, as many as you want.
Yeah.
And book in, come down and have a real, authentic McLaren Vale Italian experience.
Yeah, and see,
That's right.
by all means, I mean, we're not an a la carte restaurant, but at the same time,
Oh, mate, you're very close.
we'd like to, offer a small selection of stuff that we enjoy eating
Yeah.
and share it with you guys. So our kind of food, our kind of wine, and our kind of experience.
And your kind of hospitality,
Yeah.
which is second to none.
Yeah.
It always has been. So
Thank you, mate.
Thanks. Cheers.
Cheers, thank you.
Thank you.
No,
Thank you.
thank you.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back with more tastings. If you haven't checked us out, come on over to youtube.com/SA Wine Weekly. We have a collection of videos, including wine tastings, interviews with winemakers, and visits to amazing wineries. So join us and subscribe, like, and comment to win some amazing prizes.
Shiraz.
Shiraz.
Yep. So here we are, 2018 Estate Shiraz. I think I change it up every time.
It's like Lego and Lego.
Yeah,
Apparently South Australians are the only people that say Lego.
Lego.
No, we're right though.
Yeah.
My wife's from Victoria and she tells me I'm wrong.
Oh,
My wife's from New South Wales, so we didn't do very well there, did we?
my wife's from South Australia and I'm still wrong.
So 2018 Estate Shiraz. So I guess this is a real,
Before you go, Holly, let's hear from you about what do you, well, you haven't said much.
Because she talks too much.
Yeah, well, okay, true. Come on, tell us. What do you smell? It's got a distinct smell to it.
It does. I can't work it out.
You can't work it out.
No, it
Well,
smells
just make
different
it up. You're not going
Does
to
it
be
smell
right.
like Shiraz? perhaps?
Yeah, a little bit.
Shiraz.
It smells like-
It's got a
Shiraz.
different
You know what it smells
scent
like?
that
Red
kind
wine.
of smells like red wine. No, it's got kind of like a different. Got
It's
some
almost smoky.
spice and
Smoky.
Smoky.
So if I had said
I
like,
don't really get the smoky.
That's the oak you can smell. Right?
if I said ferrous, ironstone, would that, like licking a bit of iron? It's a strange thing,
I kind of get that.
This mixture of savoury and sweet, so a lot of mulberry fruit, red and black fruit, but then also a really ferrous ironstone-like character.
Yeah, it's got a distinct. I would say even a little bit different than the normal McLaren Vale Shiraz.
Tannin management is really key with Shiraz, and especially in this site where we get very small berries, so it's very concentrated fruit that we're dealing with. And so that kind of it's very much a hands-off approach, because if you really work this wine during the fermentation, it is quite bitter, or it has the potential to be. But yeah, look, this wine, the 18, is just a supreme example of just beautiful suppleness and richness of texture. Without
Very, very easy to drink.
Very easy.
I'm going to put it in the
dangerous.
dangerous category. Yep.
So 1989 was the first vintage of this wine that within I guess at that point our father said, look, this vineyard's really special, and it would have proven itself over, a decade to say, look, this deserves its own opportunity to be bottled as a single vineyard wine.
I wouldn't say it's a massive kind of ballbuster wine, but it's all about that quality of tannin.
To be honest, it's amazingly taste, but without being that overpowering. I'm your lighter wine guy, as much as I get teased about it. But this is going to go in the cellar.
It's sort of, you go full-bodied and you take one step back.
Yeah.
It's just teetering on that edge. And that's...
You've done an amazing job.
That's really important.
So if you want to get your winery, or let's say your favourite winery, or if you want to get Coriole on again, which we'd be more than happy to come back, wouldn't we? Then all you have to do is send us an email, hit us up Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, any of the socials. We're on them all, SA Wine Weekly or Achieve Video Marketing. Then you can hit us up and maybe let us know where you'd like us to go next. Boys, thanks heaps for coming on.
A pleasure.
Thank you.
Before Steve takes over, let's me and you talk about it, and then we'll have the expert talk about it.
Okay.
I'm going to say what I think.
Give it.
I think that can't possibly be as good as you talked it up. But let's have a crack. Obviously, extremely dark in colour. It's almost black.
Get some air onto this.
Get some air. How long would you usually decant this for at home? A couple of beers?
Well, to be honest, what I'd usually do is I'd crack it, I'd pour some in a glass, and then put it in a decant. So I would drink it straight. I'm not that restrained, but I think if you gave this 30 minutes to an hour, I mean, it could do with more if you wanted to, but straight out of the bottle, it's gold. But it definitely give it a little bit of time, and it's going to change into a totally different beast.
Yeah.
What I suggest people do with it loves a bit of air. I mean, I like it with about 6 hours of air. But I say to people that, mate, if you decide you're going to have that nice char-grilled steak tonight for dinner, you take it out of the freezer, decant the wine. Then, as long as it's in it.
Hang on. This is an awesome tip.
I like it.
So you're getting the food prepared.
Yeah.
Decant the wine.
Yeah. When you eat that decision in the morning before you go to work, say 8 o'clock or whatever, take the steak out of the freezer, decant that, put that in a nice cool spot.
Yeah.
And you come home from work and into it, it's going to show itself for everything it is.
I get a little bit overexcited about this, but it's, seriously, give it a swirl. I wouldn't be able to tell you the colour because I'm colourblind. I'd just say it's dark.
Well, that's pretty good.
And I just go, it's big, bold, ballsy, and it's
What about drinkability?
I mean, you go to my wine cellar. There's about 300 wines in there, and there's at least 100 of these of Danshi Rise.
So you're not drinking them, or?
No.
There was 200.
Let's just say,
either way,
when I go on a tour here, I usually pick up a couple of bottles and I try and sneak them in downstairs and put them under the cellar.
Oh, it just grabs me as bold, like you said, but I've just got this easy drinking. Like, I don't usually like a massive Shiraz because I don't like the aftertaste and the difficulty of drinking, but this,
Yeah.
difference in quality, mate. Maybe it is the difference in quality of the dark fruit. I mean, and because it's obviously high in alcohol, but it doesn't taste it.
No. We just delay this 6 hours and see what it changes into.
Yeah.
Because it will be a totally different wine.
And what would you be pairing it with? Steak.
Wine
What, more wine.
and a glass.
More wine. A decanter and a glass.
No, I mean, yeah, if I was going to have anything with it, I'd be having a steak, T-bone.
Yeah, nice roast.
It's kind
So
of-
let's hear from the expert. You tell us more about this wine. You tell us.
Yes, 2014 Shiraz. It's big, bold, and beautiful. It's a very serious example of McLaren Vale Shiraz, I think. A big medley of those baking spices, and on the nose there's this real charcuterie meatiness to it. It's just lovely.
Meatiness.
Yeah.
That actually sums it up
Yeah.
perfectly, doesn't it?
Yeah, and that's that thickness that's to a lot of these wines. There's that meatiness, and
Yeah,
it may
yeah.
not appeal to a lot of people, that word, but it's it describes what you got here. It's there's texture to it.
It's soft, but powerful.
Yeah. I had never really experienced power and softness together.
Yeah.
And this is a great example.
Well, I think this is a better balanced wine.
Yeah.
I mean, those tannins. I mean, it's powerful McLaren Vale Shiraz fruit. The tannin and the acid in it is just sitting so well with it. I love the structure of it, and I think that delivers so much to the wine. That balance.
Yeah.
Balance is everything.
Yeah. I mean, it's butter going down, isn't it? It's
Oh,
just
yeah.
like,
Liquid gold almost.
yeah.
So, where do people get this such amazing wine? Can they order from your website, or are they better off giving you
I don't even have a website.
So they got to give you a call or come up?
Just ring me.
Yeah. Only available from here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, I don't deal with the trade. It's all direct sales. And, we're only small producers.
Yeah.
And,
So what's the best? Give you a call?
Yeah, give me a ring.
Give you a call, book
Yeah,
in, come up and have a tasting and grab some from there?
Yeah, absolutely.
And around about what's the cost per bottle?
That's $25.
That's
ridiculous.
It is.
Yeah, it is.
Absolutely ridiculous. And what about a case?
It's the same price.
Yeah.
$300.
300 still.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy.
It is crazy.
And what's this going for?
30.
30.
Yeah.
That's a bargain. People can give you a call, come up and taste this amazing wine, or they can throw in some comments.
I was about to say they could come on a Gone AWOL tour, but I thought you were about to plug me.
Right. Well,
Okay. Anyway,
you stole my thunder. They could comment on the show, or they could come on a Gone AWOL tour. And is there a tour that doesn't come in?
there's not many. To be
No,
honest.
there isn't, is there?
There's not many. No.
And I can see why.
Yeah.
Pool of knowledge.
Yep.
An absolute pool of knowledge. So I've got to say cheers heaps. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, pleasure.
Cheers, mate.
If you haven't checked us out, come on over to youtube.com/SA Wine Weekly. We have a collection of videos, including wine tastings, interviews with winemakers, and visits to amazing wineries. So join us and subscribe, like, and comment to win some amazing prizes.
The D-Block, very well-known Shingleback wine, covered in gold medals. Just having a look in here, you couldn't fit many more. You actually have to lap around the bottle almost.
We've had a few where we've had to do that.
Yeah.
We've decided that.
So this is a 2016, and obviously the D-Block's the reserve.
Yes. One of the wines up at that pointy end of that pyramid, and it's certainly been good for my ego over the years. We've won some pretty major trophies with both the Shiraz and the Cabernet. Winning Jimmy Watson in 2006 with the Cabernet, and this has just constantly done well. 16's the current vintage, which is nice. We want this to have. We generally don't release these until 3 years of age or so they just need a bit of time to settle down. Look, at it once when I first started winemaking, Cabernet was the king of grapes and Shiraz was kind of the workhorse. But there was a little bit of a coup there, and Shiraz certainly nowadays is what Australia's known for around the world. And I love to think it's a bit like Australians, because whereas Cabernet's quite collar and tie and a bit tight and structured and things, Shiraz is unashamedly big and bold and slurpy and all those things. It's the open neck tennis shirt guy at the party who's cracking jokes and the girls are paying a fair bit of attention,
That's a great way.
So, one thing with Shingleback is, because we're only sort of a 25-year-old company, we do put our wines into shows constantly. We want to put them out there. We're happy to take the criticism. They don't always win things, but generally we do very well. And it does get us, it does get our wine in front of a lot of people that maybe we wouldn't. And I think a lot of wine writers discovered us through the show system and things where they might be judging and they think, who are these guys that keep winning gold medals in the classes I'm judging? Better give them a write-up. And for us, that's our lifeblood to get here on this program, or to get a wine write-up and things, is what we need to get our message out to people, and so people come and experience it.
What was the first big award you won? I mean, it must have been a pretty special and momentous sort of...
Well, the very first one was a gold medal for a Shiraz, 98 Shiraz going back, which was the first wine we released under our Shingleback label.
So you better don't want to offend horse and hop into the amazing meal he's prepared. Questions? Fire some questions away. D-Block Shiraz, one of my favourite Shirazes. I won't drink it. I'll just sit here and drool over it while I watch you eat.
Yeah. That's big and ballsy. It just works so well.
But the colour of it, I've seen darker Shirazes, but it's bold when you drink it, isn't it?
Yeah.
And so all you got to do is throw a question up to win a bottle of D-Block. That's probably the best deal yet, isn't it?
Is there anyone in my family watching? Question in if you could.
I think there's a rule in there somewhere.
No.
No, it's all right.
Change your name.
They're like guidelines.
There's not that rule, otherwise my brother would never win.
It's like the food. You drink with your eyes first, so the colour's incredibly important. But as you said, we could make this bigger. That wouldn't necessarily make it better, though. There's, like this dish where there's perfect balance between the elements, the wine has to be the same thing. And it's probably one of the things I think over the last particularly 10 or 15 years, we're a little bit more careful. We don't tend to work things as hard. The oak is backed off. The oak really should just be a fine frame that highlights and shows the fruit.
Everybody seems to be backing off a little bit with their oak.
Yeah, I think so. And the only people sad about that are the oak salesmen, of course. But
they've done all right over the last few years.
And look, it's still incredibly important. Don't get me wrong, because we run 1,400 barrels or 14 something like that, or 1,500 or so. And what we do is we buy. These days, we really buy the best oak we can, and then we use it for a longer period of time. We keep it in very good condition. Probably the best fill of my oak is often years 3 through 5 sort of thing. So maybe year 1, we probably wouldn't put D-Block into too much new oak. We'll have a little bit of new oak, maybe 10%.
All right, so I've got to say, Horse, come back in here. We've got to say thanks to you. I've got to say thanks very much, mate. You have outdone yourself. I've learned so much. I'm sure the viewers have as well. Luke's had the night of his life. He's going to be talking them up as one of the best meals in his whole life. So you've totally outdone yourself, and anybody watching has got a book. Give the Celador a call, book in, get this amazing experience. It wouldn't be that many spare spots, would there? They go pretty quick.
We do what we can.
Yeah, excellent. They're accommodating, and so I've got to thank you too, John.
Thank you for the chance to talk to people about our wines and our experience here at Shingleback.
It's been so easy. We've learnt so much, and especially what goes. I never knew so much went into making Chardonnay, or so much went into making rosé, and then for the fact that it's $12 a bottle, kind of seems absolutely worth it. The amount of effort that goes into it. But thanks very much. We've all learned a lot. It's been a great show. We've got Ben Tanzer, head winemaker.
Yep, you can call it that. It's fine.
Head winemaker from Fox Creek Wines. Now, what have you brought along, mate? Well, have you brought it along to impress Fitzy?
It better be.
So this is our top of the range, 2015 Reserve Shiraz.
Good year. Was it a good year, 2015?
Yeah, no, it was a good year.
Yeah, it was all right.
Big wines.
Do you get sick of that? Do you get sick of people going, what was the year like? Because it is now, vintage is, it's a lot about the weather now and droughts in Australia and what's going on and rain and...
Yeah, and 15 was a bit one of those years.
Can I ask you this question, Tansy? What is considered one of the best years of all time, wine-wise? Like if you got your hands on a 2010 or a 2008, does anyone talk about a certain year or not?
Yeah, so 2008 was a bit of a disaster, to be honest.
Was it?
Well, it started off good, but then it started off really good, but then we had I think we had 16 days above 38.
Yep.
And basically the nighttime temperatures didn't get below
So it
28.
got scorched, so the grapes got scorched.
Yeah. We're pretty lucky in McLaren Vale especially. Yes. We have pretty even vintages. The only thing I suppose is with climate change, which is actually happening, it's a real impact, is the vintages are moving forward, so they're moving earlier.
So you got to pick earlier.
It's drier.
Yeah, got you.
And also, as a winemaker, you want the vineyards to ripen nice, balanced and evenly.
Yes. So the correct way of handling a glass is like that. Is that correct?
No, that's not right.
No.
So just see if you follow my lead, Fitz.
It's all in the wrist.
Well, it's all in the wrist.
Okay, wait up. I'll get it going.
No, that's not
Holly, sorry. Do you know what? I've got to start it on the table.
Novices still
like that.
Yeah,
that's
the table's
it. You
the
get it
trick.
like that.
That's good.
You
I didn't feel your
alcohol.
I mean, we just cracked this bottle and we could have probably decanted it.
Yes.
We probably would have been
Now,
opened up.
should we say probably or we should have?
Well, you don't have to, but
So what is that? Oh, that's really nice, Tansy. I like that. So why do you have to air out a wine in a decanter?
yeah, it just gets oxygen in there, opens
Yep.
it all up,
Okay.
softens some of the tannins and stuff down. So
Softens. I love the word softens.
We actually had some older wine on the show, and the old fella decided and told us that before you go to work in the morning, pour it in the decanter, leave it somewhere nice and cool, leave it for 8 hours.
Oh,
come
that
back,
long?
Blew me away. And I haven't
Changes
done
the
it.
flavour completely.
Yeah, I haven't done it as yet because it never lasts that long. in the
No,
decanter. I got crack the bottle and people come from everywhere.
Yeah. So we went as a family gift for Christmas one year, I took them to Turkey Flat Winery in the Barossa. And it was a 5-course degustation. I thought, we'll get some nice wines and we'll do something different. And the chief winemaker comes out and he's like, you've got about 4 or 5 different glasses in front of you. And he was saying, okay, this is our latest vintage. So this is 2015. This is the latest vintage and you can taste it there. And then he poured like a vintage from 1997. And you could really, so we had 2 glasses, one from 2015, one from 1997. And he said you can taste the maturity in the 1997. And if you let it go for that long, how much better it tastes. And I'm not joking, I looked over and my old man goes, why would you drink out of 2 glasses? And went like that. And there was all these wine connoisseurs at the table going, what is he doing?
What are we meant to be smelling on the nose?
I suppose with the reserve, it's a real blend of the entire region. So we take fruit from right up in near Sellex, right up on the hills, all the way through McLaren Vale. So the southwestern pocket of McLaren Vale, right up to the northeastern sort of pocket up in near Kangaroo. So the backbone of this wine, it comes off almost 120-year-old Shiraz vineyard just near McLaren Flat. But I suppose what we do with this, we just blend not only different vineyards but different barrels, and it's all barrel selected.
And how long do you keep it in the barrel for?
Bit over a year, year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, year
Are
and a
they
half.
American, French?
There's a little tiny bit of American in this, but mostly French.
Okay.
And French coopered as well. So in the past, historically, they used to be 100% American oak, but slowly over time we've refined it back down to French oak.
How often does a reserve get made? Does it have to be of a certain quality?
Yeah.
For the reserve to be
Yeah.
made?
Yeah, we've been lucky. The last time that we didn't make a reserve was in 2003.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
03 was a bit of a bugger of a vintage, but so the last one that we missed was 03.
If you can though, Tansy, what would be the perfect time to drink this? 10 years later?
The 15, to be honest, early on, was a lot of the 15s from McLaren Vale were quite tough and hard because it was that drought sort of dry year. The skin to juice ratio was high, so there was a lot of skin, small berries, a lot of skin, and they produce really big sort of structured ones. It's just starting in the last year, I reckon. It's just starting to soften out.
And there's braille on the back of
there is braille on all
Is
the
that
labels,
when you get really blind, or is that
yeah.
Right. Okay. Got it.
No, it's a good innovation actually. Like a few years ago, it was a long time ago actually. They decided to start putting braille on the back of the bottles.
Power, elegance, and style are the values we strive for in our flagship Shiraz. Painstakingly assembled. Was it really that painstaking to actually assemble all these individual barrel
it's actually
selections?
one of my favourite wines to put together, to be honest.
Yeah. Mate, when you get a 120-year-old vineyard, that's what freaks me out. How many more? Would that be close? That's it. Like, I mean, how long can a vineyard go?
No, they're still ticking.
120
there's a lot, you know, there's a lot of missing vines in that vineyard, and the old guy that owns it. He won't let anyone in there. He prunes it all himself. He's like 65 or
Well,
getting
that's
older.
fair enough because it'd be worth a fortune to him. So
So-
McLaren Flat, can you just write down where?
So, as a novice, Fitzy, as a wine novice,
yes,
what are you smelling and tasting?
Look, for me, it's very smooth to drink. And like you said, Tansy, I think there's a lot of wines that you have and you get that bitter taste instantly. And that sort of puts you off a wine straight away. But this is so smooth and easy to drink. God, I don't know. What are the words that you use for wine?
No, don't use what you think.
Oaky, chocolate, tannins. Tannins a word?
Coffee.
Tannins.
Cigar.
What does tannins mean?
Well, tannins is it's the mouthfeel really. And a lot of the tannins come from the seeds and the skins of the grape.
Yeah.
So, food pairing wise, I'm pretty interested to see. I know. What sponsor we're going to bring on from the footy club to pair with this cracking
I would
wine.
say beef with this one, yeah? You'd have to say beef.
Yeah, some sort of strong meat. Holly, what are you screwing your face up for?
I'm not screwing my face.
No, I saw, as soon as we said
No,
that,
I'm
mushroom
not.
Well, you're
No one
vegetarian,
thought I
Kenya,
am.
I know you, and you didn't
I
have the beef
know.
salad, and I understand that.
No, that's not.
So today we've got a full cow for you, Holly. Let's bring it in. Did you get Dan?
We got Dan.
Dan made me a coffee yesterday morning, actually.
Well, I made your dad a coffee.
Yeah, because I was.
I don't want to say
I was
anything about that.
isolated. So what do we got, Dan?
Right, we got a steak sandwich.
Yep. Oh, a legend with some
made on
chips too.
Beck's Bakehouse bread.
Looks nice.
Southern Vale's eggs.
Tell us what we got.
All right, mate. So you've got a steak sandwich, flour store steak sandwich. It's porterhouse steak, bacon, free-range egg. You got Beck's Bakehouse herb and garlic ciabatta loaf.
Wow.
And shoestring fries. Get amongst it.
So
you don't have a knife and fork, mate.
Oh. No, I noticed
I'm
that.
really sorry.
That's a bit hot.
I'll grab Cody's knife.
No, well, no COVID in the footy club, so
It's
you
hot.
know.
What did you want to do?
Oh, thank you so much.
And tell people a little bit about the flour store.
Built in probably the oldest building in Port Noarlunga, or at least one of the walls.
Well, that's a big call. That is a big call.
1846.
I spent so much time in that place, and you had the big half pipe out the back.
You did. Yeah. So that's now Port Burger.
Yep.
So so we're up there, little coffee shop. We do breakfast and lunch 5 days a week. It's good fun.
Mate, it's magnificent, and I
You
love
call
your
through the door
coffee.
every now and then.
Best coffee in Port Noarlunga as well at the flour store.
Oh, I have had a
I've
coffee
caught
there.
it.
Very
I've caught it.
nice.
It's a big claim.
I'll just wait for Tansy to stop eating. He didn't mind the steak singer at all, but then we can wrap up.
Where can we purchase the wine?
Online.
Online?
This one, yeah. So probably the easiest way is go to Cellar Door or online.
No, go see Georgie. Go see Georgie in the cellar, because it is a great experience in the cellar door.
Yeah.
The original postmaster, wasn't it? The
Yeah.
Fox, yeah?
Yeah.
Postmaster of Wollonga.
It's a beautiful old cellar door.
Amazing wine. Fitzy, you should come to the show more often. Nobody brings this sort of wine on the show.
I actually had to fight a little bit to get this wine on. We're going to put something else on. I'm like, nah.
No, you've got to put the reserve, and there's half a bottle left.
Well,
I'll
if it's zero, come on, mate.
tell you
Put
what,
the good stuff
Cody, you're not taking that one home. I am.
If you haven't checked us out, come on over to youtube.com/SA Wine Weekly. We have a collection of videos, including wine tastings, interviews with winemakers, and visits to amazing wineries. So join us and subscribe, like, and comment to win some amazing prizes.
This is our 2005 Centurion. Okay, so it's now got 16 years old. Okay. This is the very last vintage that we did under cork. So the part of the evolution of wine in Australia is that cork developed a bit of a reputation for not necessarily always being the perfect closure, but very good corks age wines very well. So it became a bit of a reliability thing. Okay? There are a lot of people out there who would never have opened a cork bottle before. So,
I'm going to lose half
Jade,
the cork in the bottle. Are you going to give me a red hot
I'm going to show you
go?
do it. So this is a.
Don't show her. Make her do it.
This is. I'm not. She's just going to do it.
Yeah, don't let her show it.
Right, here we go.
So this is a corkscrew. They're very elements of a corkscrew.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Has it got
Show
Richard?
me the ropes.
Has it got Richard
So we
Hamilton
have the
written on
pocket
it?
knife on one side and the corkscrew on the other.
Yep. Firstly, there's a knife. Okay. The knife is for cutting the foil.
So we slice.
Jade, one corkscrew.
Why, thank you, sir.
You know what though? This is great education for people that.
And don't forget. No. Well, you left hand right hand.
Now,
Put it
this
behind.
way?
And put your finger behind it. So. And
We're doing this way?
Yep. And don't cut your finger. And turn the bottle rather than. And keep your pressure underneath the thing. You're almost there. You're getting a bit of a funny angle there, but.
You know what we should have done? We
we're
should
trying to
have
get-
actually shot this scene first.
Trying to get underneath there, and it should now peel off. Hopefully.
Okay, let's go this way.
Just put a bit of
This is
pressure.
better.
Need a bit of pressure.
Your serious face is funny.
Oh, I'm on it.
Your serious
I'm
face is funny.
determined to get this right.
I'll probably go to.
Here we go.
You need to undo the first.
Oh, you actually
Take
take
the
off
top
the
off.
plastic?
Yeah.
Okay.
So now you expose the cork.
That's
No. Plastic's cheap. Tin foil.
All right, now we're dead centre.
Put it back on there.
Put a bit of
Oh,
info.
actually, you can't reach, can you?
I'm too short.
You can't
I'm
reach.
too short.
Okay. So put a bit of pressure just so that the.
Do you want to start it off for
Yeah.
me?
No,
You can get the right
Put
angle.
it in-
Yeah,
Oh.
see, it's going to bend.
You might have to put it in for her.
Yeah, see? Start it off for me.
You got. That's it. It starts. There you go.
The
Fine.
key to it.
Now
Turn.
you can turn the corkscrew
Now
right.
turn this corkscrew. Yeah.
Keep on going.
Straight.
That's it. Keep going down. More.
Could really done with that step ladder, couldn't you?
Okay. So these are really good.
I could have done with a crate.
So
A crate.
at the time,
A milk
these are-
crate.
That's enough. We'll stop. Okay. So now you want to then just check that you haven't gone too far by just bringing that down and seeing if that hits on there. So it does. See? So that's the first step.
So
So-
that's
so
your
it's
that's
two
your
stage.
little level to know that you've hit the right point.
Yep. Okay.
Beautiful.
Now you want to then push it in so that it hits the bottle, and then slowly lever it up. So you got to you're not too.
No.
And now we want to lever
Hang
it
on.
up.
Push
So
it
you
in.
wanna Push it in so it actually locks onto the bottle.
And then you've got to lift the handle up.
And then lift the handle up. I'll hang on to the bottle for you.
All right, do that.
That's it. Not too far. Now you've got to keep it straight. You
Here
got to
we
keep
go.
it
We're almost
hooked on.
there.
And when you're halfway up, change your angle and get the next. Don't twist it.
Don't twist?
No.
Okay, so we don't
Okay.
twist
And
when
then
we're
it's got
pulling out a cork.
another level here. Is there?
Okay.
Okay. So now it's got a bit more.
And then we do
Yeah,
another.
That's it. And it's got to pull that straight in.
Ta-da.
Okay. As a wine matures, it absorbs a little bit of air. Okay. So especially with a cork, it absorbs some air.
There you
So
go.
now, Jay, you're going to decant this, and what you want to do is you want to hold up like this.
And pour it like a beer.
And pour it very slowly down the side. And in the same doing so, you want to look at the clarity of the wine going there
Okay.
and here. And when you get down to about here, just call it quits.
You know, the only problem though
Beautiful.
is people won't be able to see if she has to do that. She's good at doing what she's told, isn't she?
Not sure.
You're not sure?
Keep
Too
going.
fast?
Don't stop. Don't stop. Keep going.
Too fast?
No, you're right. So what we're doing is, no, don't move it. Just pour it slowly and gently. It's a massage of a wine. Okay? And maybe just
Okay,
cork
around
it
about
there.
there?
Yeah, about there. I reckon that's good. So what you've done now is you give the wine a bit of variation. So as a wine sits in a bottle, it gets it can get a little bit stale over a period of time, and you don't need to swirl it. You've already done your job. And probably if we were doing this
Look at the colour of that.
at a dinner party or something, we might do this an hour in advance of serving it. But so cheers. This is
Cheers. Thank you
great.
very much.
Well, thank you. I wouldn't have tried this
I
wine
had a
if it
little
wasn't you
lesson
guys.
there. That was
I
fun.
didn't, so I wouldn't usually let you have this one?
No. So a wine that ages very well, that colour still remains sort of nice and red over a long period of time. So that's got
so
some
there's
nice
no brown tinge.
Not a huge amount of brown tinge there. So now you're getting some secondary characters. So not just the pure fruit of the wine and the oak and the adverse influence. You're looking at other secondary characteristics, some bit of cedary type of things coming through. And
Oh my gosh.
so when you talk about sort of buying wines to age, now you're talking about whether you buy 6 or 12. I think you need, if you're going to buy a wine of this type of quality, you need to buy at least 3. Now, one that you take home and you can't.
And again, one that you store and
Stop
then one that you drink
marking
later.
and shaking their head. They say no. It's 6 or 12.
Yeah, well, 6 or
No,
12.
you can't
Well,
have 3.
this is
No,
a-
no,
no such
no,
thing
you
as
buy
3.
a dozen.
This is the very minimum.
Yeah.
So one that you try and think, oh, you can't wait to see what's like. Oh, this is really good. One that you try in 5 years' time and think it's really good. This is going to last forever. And one you lay down until you're far too old and then you forget about it. And that's why you buy it in 6 or 12s because then you got a couple
because then
of
you've got a
mid-steps there.
selection to drink throughout the centuries.
It's an exquisite wine.
It really is.
I would be able to tell some great stories. They would get embellished a little bit over this wine, but.
So Dave, what were you doing in 2005?
What was I doing in 2000? I was trying to think. 2005. Yeah, I reckon I was an oxygen therapist, working for the Department of Defence and Department of Veteran Affairs, doing all the oxygen equipment for the diggers.
Oh.
So yeah, I was, and I worked palliative care and neonatal. Yeah, brings me back to a time where I didn't have such an enjoyable job. I can tell you that much. I must say one thing: I just come through the best period of my life. 2001, 2002, 2003, triple premiership for Brisbane.
Oh.
Yeah, that'll be right.
Yeah, just any chance I can, I'm going to bring that up. But. All right, so we're going to try this cheese with this exquisite wine.
Look, to be honest, Nathan, I think your pairing's a little bit more spot on than mine today. That blue cheese and that last blend were probably my favourite blend. I like the two together. How are you feeling about it? Still taking away the flavour a little bit from the wine because the blue cheese is quite strong.
Yeah, it's still too strong for me. This is going to be in my top 3 ever. Mate, you've done exceptionally well.
You've done
Thank you.
Right, it looks, yeah, it has very burgundy. No, I can just see, I can't see anything through it. So,
very deep.
Yeah, the smell of for such a bold wine, the fruit's still coming through though.
Yeah, so we try to still get that fruit to sort of be the hero in all the stuff we do.
In your tasting notes, what does it say?
I can't remember.
What?
No, it's it'd be probably dark fruits.
Yeah.
Or like plum.
The plum,
ripe, like sort of ripe berries.
Yeah.
A lot of vanilla. Sort of come through. Yeah.
Vanillin.
Yeah, vanillin characters.
What was it?
2016. So the same thing. It's actually quite soft. I haven't tried that wine for a while, and it's really developed in the bottle. But it has actually softened out the last time I tried it.
That really surprised me. I was expecting
that big punch.
That big punch. So making the Shiraz, you said, was it easier than how much you have to play with the Grenache?
Yeah.
What's your favourite wine?
Oh, the Grenache for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. It's a lot more fun to make.
You said you were in 7 international markets.
Yeah.
What is the Curtis Family Vineyard's #1 market?
Chinese market.
Yeah.
By country mile.
And they love the corks?
Love the corks, love the wine, love the story, love my old man stories.
Yeah. And what have you prepared to eat with it?
We've got... I went shopping. I was walking past Ellis Butcher's the other day. And,
where were you walking past?
Ellis Butcher's in McLaren Vale at near Coles there. And Ian, my old mate, the butcher at
Hang on a
Ellis.
minute. Have a look at that.
Not bad, eh?
Have a look at that.
So that's been cooking since 8 o'clock this morning. So we was slow roasting it in the oven. So I'm fingers crossed it's cooked enough inside.
8 hours, you said?
8 hours, but it was like super low, like 60 degrees. Should we cut it?
Yeah, get into it.
Right. Let's go.
So,
look at this weapon.
No. So you had to go for the biggest steak you could possibly find, or was that the butcher?
No, it sort of just shone out to
look
me.
at that.
But it's a Australian Wagyu steak, and it's
Put your fork in it and hold it up to the camera so everyone can get jealous. Have a look at that.
Pretty happy with that.
I've got to cut it up into tiny pieces. You've got to have some as well, though.
Yeah, definitely.
But we can't do it both at the same time, so you're going to have to tell me a little bit more about the Shiraz.
Yeah.
What happens when we eat this? Have the steak with it? It fully changes the.
It sort of complements all the flavours in there because you need something fairly robust sort of meal or flavour-wise, and that's what the steak sort of brings, quite a robust flavour.
It's not so much a change in the wine, it's a change in the taste of the food. So the wine's actually complementing the food, not the other way around. Yeah, great
just
pairing,
marrying
mate.
them, trying to marry them together.
Retail-wise, what are we looking at for the Shiraz?
This is $70 retail.
Bargain. 2016?
2016.
Drinking beautifully now.
Yeah, very
And I'd
smashable
advise to
at the
go
moment.
down and get
Oh,
it.
go
You
see
feed your
them.
whole family with that steak.
Definitely, yeah.
Cook it for 8
Maybe
hours.
just us two, but...
Well, that's...
Yeah.
Fire your questions away. Ask Curto some questions so I can eat and drink more. Australian people have really adopted wine.
Local.
During this. I think there was a couple of weeks there where it was a bit iffy what people were going to do. I reckon they were out during COVID. They were out exercising. I was thinking we're going to use this time.
Yeah.
Then it got a bit colder. The fire was put on. Out came the wine. Congratulations. I wanted to bring that up. So
thank you. Yeah.
If we're hitting up Curtis Family Vineyards on socials, what are you most prolific on?
We're across all of them pretty much: Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. But yeah, sales-wise, we do have a store on our website. But if you want to drop me an email or a phone call to have a chat, or if you have any questions, email's great, and I'll get to them pretty quick.
So the location?
Location,
tell
yeah.
people where you are.
So the entrance, almost the entrance of McLaren Vale with the big overpass, we just passed there. It's 514 Victoria Road, McLaren Vale.
So you're coming into McLaren, instead of turning left into the Vale, come from the city,
just
go on a
past
bit further.
Yeah.
There's a little coffee
You'll see
van.
a little coffee van there.
Turn right after that.
Yeah.
Bring up first.
Give me a call.
You bring up first.
Send me an email.
Thanks heaps, mate. It's
No
been
worries.
a great show.
It's been a pleasure.
Curtis Family Vineyard, get on it, get that deal.